Hello everyone, welcome to Choice News Now Prime. I'm Shane Cherry. Watch the broadcast live on our Choice TV Facebook page, Choice TV SLU, and our YouTube channel at Choice TV St. Lucia, or listen to the simulcast on Liberty Radio 92.3 FM. In the news tonight, the Prime Minister calls for economic freedom as the Caribbean marks Emancipation Day. St. Lucia honors enslaved ancestors during the solemn Say Their Names Emancipation Day ceremony. The Rotaract Initiative delivers free dental care and donations to children in residential care. And in news from the region, the MP Barina Commission is sworn in amid a notable absence of Guyanese media. In our top story tonight, emancipation may have secured political freedom, but Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre says the Caribbean's fight for true liberation is far from over. In his Emancipation Day message, the Prime Minister declared that economic empowerment, food security, youth development, and reparatory justice may now define the region's next chapter in achieving lasting freedom and prosperity. Kishana Smith begins our newscast.
St. Lucia joined the wider Caribbean on Saturday, August 1st, 2026, in observing Emancipation Day, a significant occasion that marks the abolition of slavery in the British Empire, following the implementation of the Slavery Abolition Act on August 1st, 1834. Despite the historic gains achieved through emancipation, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, in an address delivered on Friday, 31st July, maintained that the Caribbean's pursuit of true freedom is far from complete. The Prime Minister argued that political liberation must now be complemented by economic empowerment, stressing the importance of building economies that enable Caribbean people to generate wealth rather than simply consume it, while also underscoring the need to create conditions that foster entrepreneurship, provide meaningful opportunities for young people within the region, and ensure that farmers, fishers, and manufacturers receive the support and recognition needed to play a greater role in national and regional development.
My brothers and my sisters, the work of emancipation continues. Political freedom alone is not enough. Our people deserve economic freedom. They deserve opportunity. They deserve ownership. They deserve prosperity. We must build economies where Caribbean people are creating wealth, not merely consuming it, where our young people see opportunity at home, where our entrepreneurs can succeed, where our farmers, fishers, and manufacturers are valued, where hard work is rewarded with dignity. That is the Caribbean we must build.
Youth development also featured prominently in Pierre's address. He underscored the importance of placing young people at the center of policy making and national advancement, arguing that every young person deserves the opportunity to dream and to achieve their full potential.
Our young people must remain at the center of everything we do. Every child deserves a chance to dream. Every young person deserves a chance to achieve. Our schools must prepare them to innovate, to lead, to build businesses, to master technology, to transform our societies. We want our young people to fulfill their potential, to pursue lives of purpose and achievement, and to use their talents to strengthen our nation and our Caribbean community.
Pierre also linked the pursuit of economic freedom to food security, describing it as an essential pillar of national resilience and sovereignty.
My fellow citizens, no nation is truly secure if it cannot feed itself. That is why food security matters. Every acre cultivated, every farmer supported, every fisher encouraged, every Caribbean product placed on our supermarket shelves brings us one step closer to genuine independence.
As he concluded his address, Prime Minister Pierre called on Caribbean citizens to honor the sacrifices of their ancestors by building societies that are more just, united, and prosperous, encouraging St. Lucians to measure emancipation not only through annual celebrations, but through tangible progress in the lives of its people. For Choice News Now, I am Kishana Smith.
Reliable access to water could soon improve for thousands of residents along St. Lucia's northern corridor. The water and storage company Wasco has announced that the work on the $5 million Feebles water supply rehabilitation project is set to begin in September 2026. The 15-month initiative is expected to strengthen water reliability, improve resilience to climate change, and help address the impacts of prolonged dry conditions. Phoebe Popo reports.
Water, often described as the essence of life, has become an increasingly precious resource in St. Lucia as intermittent supply disruptions continue to affect communities island-wide. While the challenges have placed significant pressure on the Water and Sewage Company, WASCO, officials say many of the issues stem from factors beyond the utility's control, including climate change, reduced rainfall, and growing demand. In response, WASCO is advancing one of its most ambitious infrastructure initiatives to date, the $5 million US Feebles Water Supply Rehabilitation Project, financed through the CARICOM Development Fund. The project forms a central pillar of the company's broader strategy to deliver a more reliable and resilient water supply to thousands of consumers served by the island's northern network. Head of the Project Management Unit, Maurice Norville, says the procurement process for selecting a contractor to undertake the rehabilitation works is progressing steadily, with construction expected to commence in September 2026.
We opened the bids on the 1st of June, and we received 6 proposals from regional firms who were interested in executing the works. We are well advanced in terms of the evaluation process of those proposals, and we anticipate that this process will be completed in August, so that's next month, so that we can finalize the contract award and commence works in September of this year.
Once underway, the rehabilitation project is expected to span approximately 15 months, with completion targeted for December 2027.
We estimate that this project will take approximately 15 months to be completed, so we have an expected completion date of December 2027.
Upon completion, the upgraded treatment facility is expected to significantly enhance the reliability and efficiency of water production, helping to reduce service interruptions while strengthening St. Lucia's ability to respond. To the growing impacts of climate variability and increasing consumer demand. Reporting for Choice News Now, I am Phoebe Popo.
5 years after securing a decisive mandate at the polls, the governing St. Lucia Labour Party has paused to reflect on what it describes as a transformative chapter in the nation's development. During a commemorative gathering on the steps of the Castries Market on Thursday, July 30th, party officials highlighted a series of accomplishments spanning healthcare, education, infrastructure, national security, and digital transformation as they marked the 5th anniversary of the 2021 general election victory. Kishana Smith tells us more.
5 years after the St. Lucia Labour Party was elected to office on July 26, 2021, government officials gathered on the steps of the Castries Market to celebrate what they described as a period of significant national progress and people-centered development. The commemorative event served as an opportunity for party representatives to reflect on the administration's achievements across several key sectors, including healthcare, education, infrastructure, national security, and economic development, while reaffirming their commitment to delivering on the promises made to the St. Lucian people. Among the first speakers to address supporters was Parliamentary Representative of Beaufort North and Minister within the Ministry of Education, Honorable Danny Butcher. In his address, the minister reflected on the strides made within the education sector over the past 5 years, pointing to initiatives aimed at strengthening learning opportunities, expanding digital transformation, and improving access to education for all. Yet in a very bold pronouncement, Butcher confirmed that temporary teachers will receive their salaries for the month of August, noting that the necessary processing is already underway.
I have more news, breaking news, I have more news. Because the temporary teachers, they have been messaging me whether they will receive their salary in the month of August. And before I came here, I asked the technocrats at the Ministry of Education, because that's one of the hardest working ministries in the entire government. I asked them, the technocrats at the Ministry of Education, what about the temporary teachers? And this is what they told me. Mr. Minister, the salaries for the temporary teachers for August has already been processed.
He further acknowledged that this initiative represents another effort by the government of St. Lucia to support temporary teachers and ensure they are equipped with the resources needed to effectively nurture and educate the nation's future generations.
That's your Minister of Finance that is ensuring that this country has enough resources to take care of even our temporary teachers in St. Lucia. Now, Madu Saleh Halausav, Madu Saleh ha process, Unipu SPH, a boutmois, pour acheter ça, pas faire des agréments, a buckler because Udi minister do salary ha process. And this is a government that loves the people of St. Lucia.
The anniversary observance formed part of the Labour Party's wider reflection on its 5 years of progress in office, celebrating milestones achieved while outlining its continued commitment to advancing the country's social and economic agenda. For Choice News Now, I am Kishana Smith.
Coming up, St. Lucia honors the legacy of its enslaved ancestors during the solemn Say Their Names Emancipation Day ceremony. And the Rotaract brings free dental care, school supplies and smiles to children at a local residential care home. The stories and more coming up after the break. Stay with us. The news continues.
Quick and easy, top up your card. No bank account, you get a pass. BOSL, my freedom card. Freedom, freedom. My money, money, my way, my way. So, smile, reload, repeat. Freedom. My money, money, my way. I get freedom, freedom. If I wanna shop online, got bills to pay. Freedom. Go where I want, free to play. I get peace of mind, secure and safe. With BOSL, my freedom card. No bank account, no strings attached. Use what you want, then load it back. Secure and safe, flexibility. For adults and teens, no bank fees. The first ever prepaid debit card is here, and BOSL has got yours. Tap, smile, reload, repeat. You don't have to bank with us or have a bank account. That's freedom. The BOSL Freedom Card. Tap, smile, reload, repeat. Freedom. My money, money, my way. With BOSL, my freedom card.
Massey Store's waterfront is now temporarily closed for renovations for approximately 3 months. You are welcome to continue shopping with us at Massey Store's City Store or Leclerc, where you can enjoy double points on Wednesdays and Fridays, weekly sampling, and ring-a-ding Fridays during the renovations. Thank you for your understanding and continued support of Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
Welcome back. St. Lucia's Emancipation Day observances began with a powerful tribute to the nation's enslaved ancestors during the Say Their Name ceremony in V4. Held at the town square, the solemn event honored those whose names were preserved in history, while also recognizing the countless enslaved people whose identities were lost to time, ensuring their sacrifices and legacy are never forgotten. Phoebe Popo has this story.
In the heart of Vieux-Fort, the documented names of those who bore the weight of history were spoken aloud, not as statistics, but as resistance fighters and builders of this soil. Say Their Names served as a sacred bridge between our past and present, challenging St. Lucians to remember that the freedom we walk in today was bought through the endurance and triumph of our ancestors. The ceremony also highlighted the contribution of the Rastafarian community and their never-ending zeal in preaching freedom and liberation.
We are here to honor the men, women, and children whose forced journey laid the foundation for our present, whose names and stories we do not fully know. At the heart of today's commemoration, Say Their Names, Dinoyo, is a concerted effort to reflect on the enslavement and emancipation of our people, and the other often unspoken evil of torn and ruptured memory and identity.
The Honorable Moshe Baptiste commended the Rastafarian community for its monumental contributions, praising its steadfast advocacy for Africa and liberation.
The commitment in particular of the Rastafari community must be noted. For over the decades, the Rastafari community stands out as a community which raised the awareness of the struggles of Africans and their decades-long work to cause us to be conscious about our need for true independence. We as a government recognize this struggle, and we promise that we would change the circumstances in relation to the use of ganja.
As the program got underway, local orators took to the stage, speaking each name aloud to honor the memory of those who paved the way.
We begin to say their names, beginning with the Point de Sable V4 plantation, which was owned by Madame Veuve Laporte, registered on the 14th of December 1815. There were 83 enslaved individuals on this plantation.
Clément Gio, Loubin Gio, Jean-Pierre Gio, Agathine Gio, Jean Gio, Françoise Gio,
Florent Régis, Sylvain Régis, Marie Osune Ramonette, Michel Ramon, Nanette Ficou, Brigitte Ficou, Louis Ficou, Anne Ficou, Francine Mustafa.
These are just a few names of our forefathers who endured and suffered and prevailed. The backbone of our nation, the Say Their Names event was more than a tribute. It was a reminder that freedom was fought for, name by name, life by life. As emancipation celebrations continue throughout the month, the call echoes beyond Vieux-Fort Square to keep speaking their names, carrying their strength, and honoring their legacy every single day. Reporting for Choice News Now, I am Phoebe Popo.
On Monday, the nation was greeted with the bittersweet news that Sir Cyril Errol Charles's tenure as Governor General has come to an end, and that another distinguished statesman will have begun in the capacity of acting Governor General. The office of the Prime Minister outlined Sir Errol Charles's tenure and gave a stirring introduction to St. Lucia's new head of state. Sienna Dalsa reports.
St. Lucia has a new acting Governor General following the demitting of Sir Cyril Errol Charles from office. Speaking at Monday's pre-cabinet briefing, Press Secretary to the Prime Minister, Melissa Paul, announced that His Excellency Felix Finisterre was appointed acting Governor General effective August 1, 2026, on the advice of the Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre to His Majesty King Charles III. The appointment follows Sir Cyril's retirement from office on July 31, 2026. Earlier this year, Mr. Finisterre served as Deputy to the Governor General while Sir Cyril travelled to Martinique for medical treatment. Sir Cyril first assumed the role as acting Governor General on November 11, 2021, before being appointed Governor General on November 1, 2024. During Monday's briefing, Paul highlighted the major national milestones and transitions that took place under his tenure as head of state.
Sir Errol served during a period of constitutional change in St. Lucia, including the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the accession and coronation of His Majesty King Charles III, and St. Lucia's transition from the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council to the Caribbean Court of Justice as its final court of appeal. Throughout his tenure, he discharged the responsibilities of the office of the Governor General with dignity, steadiness, and respect for the country's constitutional traditions.
As His Excellency Felix Finisterre begins his role as acting head of state, the Office of the Prime Minister outlined his working experience and community development accomplishments. Finisterre's working life started with nearly 2 decades of teaching service, punctuated by his university studies, which was followed by his work as a lecturer at the St. Lucia Teachers College. He continued to be of service to St. Lucia and the Caribbean region even after his retirement.
Mr. Finisterre is widely recognized for his pioneering work in community-based development and sustainable tourism. He played a leading role in establishing the Soufrière Regional Development Foundation and developing the Sulphur Springs as one of St. Lucia's leading tourism attractions. He was also instrumental in creating the Soufrière Marine Management Area, the first integrated marine management area in the Eastern Caribbean. He later conceptualized and managed St. Lucia's first community-based heritage tourism program. In 2000, Mr. Finisterre was elected to the House of Assembly and served as Minister for Communications, Works, Transport, Public Utilities until 2005.
The Prime Minister extended his gratitude to Sir Cyril Errol Charles for his dedication and service and congratulated His Excellency Felix Finisterre for his recent appointment. For Choice News Now, I am Sienna Dalsor.
This is Choice News Now Prime. More news coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Collecting rainwater is easier than you think. With just a tank and a few simple connections, you can capture rainwater to use for non-potable uses, like cleaning, gardening, and more. Water is life. Every action matters. Every drop counts.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, Lockley DeCoste doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Lockley DeCoste specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Lockley DeCoste specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy, because Lockley DeCoste doctor specialist provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
Massey Store's waterfront is now temporarily closed for renovations for approximately 3 months. You are welcome to continue shopping with us at Massey Store's City Store or Leclerc, where you can enjoy double points on Wednesdays and Fridays, weekly sampling, and ring-a-ding Fridays during the renovations. Thank you for your understanding and continued support of Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
Welcome back. Children at a local residential care home received free dental checkups, oral health services, and generous donations during a community outreach initiative led by the Rotaract Mobile Dental Health Unit. The event combined healthcare with recreation, promoting the children's overall well-being with highlighting the importance of preventative dental care. Rotaract members, dental professionals, and the home's administrators say the initiative is expected to have a lasting impact on the children's health and development. Sienna Dalson reports.
Now, I know the children might be thinking, oh no, the Rotarians are bringing toothbrushes instead of toys. But let me tell you, kids, a little secret. These are really magic brushes. If you use them twice a day with the toothpaste, they will protect you with this ultimate villain called the sugar monster.
The mobile dental unit made a stop at the Holy Family Children's Home on Friday the 31st of July to provide dental checkups and cleaning services to the young residents of the home. Throughout the afternoon, members of the Rotary Club of St. Lucia visited to provide essential sanitary, food and care supplies. The president of the Rotary Club of St. Lucia, Levy Harrell, gave insight into the significance of this donation against the backdrop of a milestone Rotary Club anniversary.
It is, an enormous honor to be the president during this 60th anniversary year, because I believe that there are very few organizations in St. Lucia that has stood the test of time and have the amount of people committed year in, year out to doing charitable causes, So I'm very proud that we are making this contribution.
A dentist surgeon, Dr. Azmina Long, expressed her enthusiasm to deliver dental care services under the Doctors in Action project and alongside the Rotary-funded mobile dental unit.
It is my pleasure to come here today to do some voluntary work for the kids at the Holy Children's Family Home. We've done other things with them before, but mainly food donations. But with this amazing bus we have today, and I've already experienced it today with the first child, it's amazing, okay? And it will do so much service for this country beyond measure, because it's going to give all the kids that don't have access to dental care, they will get access to dental care here because it's a beautifully equipped bus. I'm so proud of the Ministry of Health, our Rotary Club, and everybody that collaborated with us to get this bus into motion, and I'm so happy to be using it on behalf of the Rotary Club today.
Holy Family Children's Home caretaker, Sister Odette, expressed her outpouring gratitude to Rotary for spearheading this initiative alongside its sponsors.
I thank you so very much, the Rotary Club and the doctors, included the DBS News, to helping us to take care of the children, to give goods and everything that the children needs for their needs for every day, to give them food and to take care of them anyway. So I thank you very much, and I appreciate all the things, all the help you give for the children.
For Choice News Now, I am Sienna Dalso.
As concerns over pollution continue to grow, attention is turning to innovative solutions that go beyond enforcement and public awareness campaigns. One waste management entrepreneur believes lasting change requires understanding the behavior behind improper waste disposal and designing systems that encourage responsible action. Choice TV spoke with the entrepreneur about a creative and sustainable approach to tackling one of the country's most persistent environmental challenges. Sienna Dalsa reports.
Pollution, a particularly vexing issue for the St. Lucian public, resurfaced in discussions surrounding the cleanup following Carnival 2026. As custom, the persistent issue of littering tends to be answered with calls for those responsible to be charged for the offense, which is punishable by a $1,000 fine in St. Lucia. However, Joie Cali Limited founder and CEO Laura John views littering as the ultimate consequence of a systemic failure, which may have left individuals with little means and ease to choose a better option.
I don't think that if you litter, you're a bad person. And I try not to make the argument centered around that sort of dichotomy. And I think good people, do not the best things often enough. I think it really comes down to designing systems, designing events that can really facilitate the behavior that you want to see.
At the opposite extreme from punitive measures sits moral suasion, at low cost, low risk, and in the case of complex issues surrounding individuals' decision-making, may come with little reward as well. For John, moral judgments don't tend to take prominence in Joie Cali Limited's approach to sustainably managing waste.
I think I tend to stay away from making it an issue of morality when it comes to behavior around what is, more sustainable or not sustainable behavior. I think for the most part, people will do the right thing if they are given the opportunity to do it, and if it's easy and accessible.
Within the wider world, beyond the individual's duty not to litter, John too voiced her agreement with the polluter pays principle.
Responsibility should definitely follow who has the control, the decision-making power, and the economic benefit of introducing these materials into our island, system. And so, of course, then that means responsibility is not uniform across the board. So certain players will have to take greater responsibility.
She pointed to ongoing revisions of the Solid Waste Management Act, the development of the Beverage Container Management Bill, and plastics policy as examples of steps to create an enabling environment to better address and prevent pollution.
I think unless taxes are very clearly defined and what we call ring-fenced in terms of designated for a very specific use. And even in those cases, we've still had challenges with those funds, which will be generated through the taxes reaching, reaching the institution that it's supposed to reach, and thus it actually ends up not being impactful in terms of changing the situation on the ground. The plastic bottles remain visible.
Joao Kali's pop-up depots initiative, run from 2017 to 2025, stands as John's proof of the powerful impacts of persuasion and public-private partnerships on how individuals decide to dispose of their waste. For Choice News Now, I am Sienna Dalsaw.
The news continues after the break with PR Daily. Stay with us.
Courts presents their 2026 All-Range event. Be inspired at all Court stores nationwide. Come see what's new in everyday furniture and appliances. Get a chance to win an Indorama 30-inch stove with appliance purchase of $5,999 or more. Great deals on TVs and wall mounts. Everyday great value on mattresses. Bedroom bundle deals up to 25% off. Be inspired at the Courts 2026 All-Range event. Affordable convenience for your home. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offer ends July 25th, 2026. Conditions apply.
Every building pulses with its own life and energy. Let's ensure yours shines with health and vitality. Lewis Industries infuses life into every corner of your buildings with tailored cleaning solutions. From conquering mold and mildew, restoring floors to their former glory, to meticulous post-construction cleanups, washroom sanitizations, and caring for delicate fabrics and upholstery, our comprehensive services covers all your building cleaning needs. Create an environment that boosts productivity and leaves a lasting impression, because clean is not just an appearance, but a performance. Bring your workspace to life with Lewis Industries. Call us at 450-4060 or visit us at www.lewisindustries.ltd.com to schedule your professional cleaning service today.
Welcome back to Choice News Now Prime. Here's PR Daily with Kishana Smith.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to PR Daily, your trusted source for the latest press releases, important announcements, community initiatives, and events. I am your presenter, Kishana Smith. Amid continued uncertainty in global energy markets, the St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, LUCELEC, has introduced a new hedging strategy aimed at shielding consumers from sudden fuel price fluctuations. Managing Director Gilroy Pulte says the measures form part of the company's broader fuel risk management approach. More in this report.
Traditionally, the company's approach to hedging has been to fix a price for a percentage of the fuel projected to be used in the future. And that is the ideal approach when market prices are low and reasonable. Since the war broke out in late March and prices escalated, increased significantly over a short space of time, that was no longer the appropriate strategy. In that if you're locked in a price and the conflict resolved, it means that you would not be able to pass on the benefit of lower prices to our customers. So we adopted a different approach. It's an approach that we have used in the past, but not very often. And that approach is one where we don't lock in a price, we lock in a cap. Essentially, we just put in a cap on the price of fuel. And essentially what that means is that the price that we pay for that percentage of the fuel that we hedge with that cap cannot exceed the cap. So even if the market price went significantly above that, the price we eventually pay for that percentage is capped. But if the market were to decline, we are able to benefit from the decline in prices and pass those reduced prices to our customers. Unlike the traditional approach where you lock in a price, if the price dropped, you're not able to pass on that benefit to the consumer. So that essentially is the change that we adopted since the war broke out.
The commissioning of the dialysis unit at the St. Jude Hospital OJ site marks a significant milestone in the government of St. Lucia's ongoing efforts to strengthen the delivery of healthcare services and also to improve access to dialysis services to residents in the south of the island. The dialysis unit is expected to enhance patient comfort while accessing care in a more modern environment. More in this report.
With the successful commissioning of the dialysis unit to the newly rehabilitated St. Jude Hospital OJ site, this marks a major step towards the ongoing efforts of improving healthcare service delivery in St. Lucia. Individuals requiring dialysis treatment now have a more comfortable, enhanced and modern space to receive care. The dialysis unit at the newly rehabilitated St. Jude Hospital OJ site has been upgraded with equipment and also now has available 14 dialysis service stations. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition praised the smooth transition of dialysis services at St. Jude Hospital and ensuring there was uninterrupted life-saving care for patients. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Jenny Daniel, spoke on the measures which were taken by the ministry.
The Ministry of Health is cognizant of the nature of dialysis and the service that is required by dialysis patients. The fact that, when you need to be dialyzed, you need to be dialyzed. And, if you don't receive the dialysis that is required, it can be life-threatening. So we ensured that we had an arrangement in place with the other facilities who normally dialyze patients referred by the Ministry of Health, and we ensured that we put in place the system and the finances that would allow for those patients to continue to receive dialysis while the transitioning was taking place. Because during the transitioning process, we would have stopped dialysis at the stadium, and of course the dialysis unit would not have been ready to receive patients until today. And so during this time, during the days that fell in between, we ensured that there was continuity of service for the patients.
Jenny Daniel also spoke on the transitioning of the dialysis unit to the newly rehabilitated hospital as one which required teamwork, collaborative effort and support in order to achieve a high standard of care.
So the move of the dialysis services from the stadium to this OJ site has not been an overnight move. I know that the general public has been concerned and clamoring for the quick movement, but the success of the move here today speaks to a lot of foundational work that took place, background work with our technical officers, with the company Renal Dynamics, who has traveled to St. Lucia to provide us with that support and assistance, ensuring that the correct units were put in place, that the water systems were fully operational, electrical systems and everything. And this is what has contributed to a successful move to the dialysis unit.
Minister for Health, Wellness and Nutrition, the Honorable Moses Jabatis, expressed great excitement and satisfaction following the full commissioning of the dialysis unit and reiterated the government's commitment to strengthen healthcare infrastructure and to also improve overall patient experience.
We know that there are many individuals who live in the south of St. Lucia who require dialysis services. In our experience, we know that over the years, many patients had to wait and other patients had to go to Castries for dialysis. This improved department will certainly provide opportunities for individuals from the south who require dialysis. It will help them in terms of transportation, saving transportation costs, and also being able to access the service closer to home.
The Ministry of Health reaffirmed its commitment to advancing healthcare delivery and ensuring that residents in the south of the island continue to benefit from improved health infrastructure and strengthening of health services as the full commissioning of the St. Jude Hospital continues in a phased approach. Reporting from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Nutrition, I am Fernand Neptune.
On Wednesday, July 29, 2026, about 3 a.m., officers attached to the Northern Division Operations Team, the Grizzly Criminal Investigations Department, General Duties, the Gangs, Narcotics and Firearms Unit, GNFU, the Special Operations Team, and the Special Services Unit conducted a joint operation in Grizzly Town and Digazor. The operation formed part of the RSLPF's continued proactive policing efforts ahead of the Grizzly Carnival weekend. During the operation, officers executed a warrant to search for firearms and ammunition at a residence in Grosley, where they seized a firearm magazine. 25-year-old Linus Clovis, alias Lucky, was arrested. A search of another residence on Dauphin Street resulted in the seizure of a quantity of suspected cannabis. 41-year-old Ronald Charles was arrested. At a location in Degazon, officers seized a quantity of suspected cannabis plants and seedlings. 27-year-old Joshua Thomas was arrested and formally charged with the offenses of possession of controlled drugs and possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply. On Thursday, July 30th, Thomas appeared before the 1st District Court for a bail hearing and was granted bail in the sum of $1,500 on each charge. His matter was adjourned to October 7th, 2026. On Thursday, July 30th, Linus Clovis was formally charged with the offense of possession of a component part of a firearm. On Friday, July 31st, he appeared before the 1st District Court for a bail hearing. He was granted bail in the sum of $20,000 in cash, land documents, or suitable surety. He is required to surrender all travel documents to the court, not leave the state without the court's permission, not apply for travel documents without the court's permission, and report to the Grosley Police Station, providing crime reduction, improved road safety, and a safer environment. And that's all for today's edition of PR Daily. If you have a press release that you want to share with our audience, send us an email at news.choicemedianetwork@gmail.com. Thank you for watching PR Daily, and do stay tuned for more news and updates. Back to you, Shane.
Thank you, Kishana. Let's now take a look back at the local weather forecast.
Welcome to our Cruise Community Series, where we meet the persons behind the scenes who drive our diverse cruise industry. Today, we meet one of our amazing cruise agents.
Platinum Port Agency, we are a maritime vessel agency. Basically, we are agents for whenever maritime vessels need to come into St. Lucia. They need to be cleared with the government officials of St. Lucia, and we are the ones that facilitate those requests. Any foods, items, so you try to foster a relationship with the cruise lines, you exchange emails, try to create a human connection, different channels of economic stimulation that happens from that. You have, say, the drivers that need to get the persons to and from, or the goods to and from. You have farmers or suppliers. There's a lot of things that we do in the cruising sector that may not be on the front line for people to see, but rest assured we're getting it done.
Welcome back. Here's Sienna Dawson with our regional news package.
Welcome to the regional news package. I'm your presenter, Sienna Dalso. Last week, the members of Guyana's Commission of Inquiry into the MV Barima tragedy were sworn in. The President Irfan Ali pledged the government's commitment to resource the commission to the fullest extent necessary to complete a thorough investigation. He also underlined the nation's urgent anticipation of the commission's report. HGP TV's Javon Vickery outlined the highlights of the swearing-in ceremony, including questions of why Guyana's local media was not present.
The 5-member International Commission of Inquiry into the MV Barima disaster was sworn in at State House on Thursday morning. with no members of the local media present for the ceremony. It was not immediately clear whether the press had been invited, whether access was restricted, or whether the ceremony was intended to be closed. President Irfan Ali, however, though, said their combined experience would strengthen the inquiry's credibility. Ali maintained that the commissioners met the highest standards of impartiality and objectivity.
That tragedy brought immeasurable grief to the families, communities, and to our entire country, even as we continue to mourn those who lost their lives.
He assured the panel that the government would provide all administrative, technical, financial, and logistical resources needed for a thorough investigation.
Our nation deserves a full, fair, and impartial account of what occurred, why it occurred, and what must be done to ensure that such a tragedy is never repeated.
Questions about possible overcrowding, weight distribution, life-saving equipment, and compliance with maritime safety requirements will form part of the inquiry.
The Commission has been entrusted with a comprehensive mandate to inquire into every relevant aspect of this disaster.
Ali said the report is awaited not only by the government, but more importantly by those whose lives were shattered by the disaster.
The nation awaits such report. The families who have suffered unimaginable loss await these answers.
The commissioners took their oaths before Chief Magistrate Judy Latchman, Belizean jurist Justice Godfrey Philip Smith, who will chair the inquiry, participated virtually because he was outside of Ghana. The remaining commissioners were sworn in at State House. Javon Vickery, HGP Nightly News.
Major technological upgrades are underway at the V.C. Bird International Airport to improve passenger experience. The Antigua and Barbuda Airport Authority has provided more details on the rollout of its new self-service kiosks, which it says are improving security, speed, and convenience. We hear more from Philana Johnson with ABS News.
The V.C. Bird International Airport is taking another step to modernize its passenger experience, reducing long lines and manual document checks.
The latest step is the rollout of 15 kiosks, which are currently being used as an additional layer of security as well as wheelchair accessibility and convenience, compared to the ones from 10 years ago. The kiosks will also have additional features such as providing baggage tags, but this will be rolled out at a later date. The airport authority says the logistics are still being fine-tuned.
We'll be engaging with the airlines, their stakeholders, to see exactly where would be optimal placement for these things. So the 15 is what we had before. We've upgraded those machines entirely to brand new machines. The older kiosks are being utilized for other purposes as well.
For now, the kiosks are at different locations, one closer to the ticket counters, while the others can be seen once you enter the airport terminal. Additionally, 3 airlines are currently on board for this initiative.
We do anticipate that we'll see more airlines jumping on board. So from an airport perspective, we want to make sure we have a platform that is available to airlines. We're aiming to meet the demand of passengers, not only within the region, but also to international passengers as well.
Meanwhile, the airport authority is currently testing another pilot project, a facial recognition tablet. The passenger first scans their boarding pass and then the tablet uses their face to verify the flight details. He points out these devices are not taking away people's jobs, but providing them additional tools to complete their duties more efficiently.
We are very people-centric at the airport, and we want to maintain that because people like that interaction as well. But we have expectations. We've reviewed global aviation trends, and there's an expectation that we must keep in step with what is happening on the global scene. And that's what we're hoping to do and seeking to achieve by doing these advancements.
The airport authority is set to provide more details on future projects as it seeks to continue improving the passenger experience. Philana Johnson, ABS News.
With a performance described by many as one for the ages, Adrian A.C. Clarke outshined the competition with his rendition of Legends from the Grave to become Barbados' new Calypso King. His victory came before thousands of enthusiastic patrons who gathered at the National Botanical Gardens for the Courtesy Garage Pico de Crop Finals powered by Q100.7 FM. We hear more from Anesta Henry with CBC News.
In a mesmerizing performance, AC delivers his 2026 Calypso masterpiece. It's a hypnotic performance. Fans are standing, singing, bouncing at the National Botanical Gardens. It's a sight to behold. Undoubtedly, his clear diction and delivery of infectious lyrics set him on course for a mammoth 330 points, 66 more than his closest rival. Shovel in hand at the end, he lays his fellow competitors to rest.
Really feels great. I was beating myself last year because I thought I had a very good chance last year. But I guess some timers had a hole in my brain and things didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But, you know, this year, better late than never.
Legends from the Grave, produced by Nicholas Branker, blends meticulous research with impactful lyrics while incorporating the distinct voices and the traditional styles of historic Barbadian and Trinidadian Calypso legends. The song, which has been popular from the time it was released several weeks ago, is already familiar to many on the big night.
And I had the idea since last August, right after crop over last year. I didn't know exactly what I was going to say. I know it was going to be dealing with guys like Shadow and Stalin and Kuru, and for sure I know I had Romeo in there, but just how I was going to do it. The idea was tossed around a few times until eventually, sometime in June, I decided to sit down and write it. Now, I don't rush. I write fairly quickly and stuff, so I don't really rush. People say, oh, he waited for me to bring up my song and all that sort of nonsense, but I don't be doing that sort. I just take my time and do what I got to do.
For his win, AC has the option of choosing between a 2026 GAC MCU vehicle or $100,000 in cash as his prize. This is what he intends to do.
I choose to do one of them. I will make up my mind probably by tomorrow morning. I know what I have in mind right now, but this is a lovely machine. I like vehicles, I like them bad, and I have no problem in taking the car. I've been admiring them actually, the GSC model from in Nigeria actually. Last year I was in Nigeria and I was taking a good look at them. I drove around in a few of them.
Kid Sight from the C.O. Williams House of Soca tent places second with Talk Like Mia, while the Big Show's iWeb, who performs Colors in B, takes the third spot. Mr. Blood, the defending monarch, comes fourth with Ain't Leaving. He too is from the Big Show Calypso tent. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
And that's all for the regional news package. Back to you, Shane.
Thank you, Sienna. Our final segment coming up right after the break. Stay with us.
Moi que tu as sous bout mi baba de moi ai ya remi moi passer immigration nga ko police to chebe moi ha wa ki bay
mon film rester seul no match
la jamais vrai nga fa comme un bobol comme
people who know me look at me as being a humble little guy, you know.
Show me by me lady mardi c'est comment c'est bay mon toi fay
moi ou pas fait moi pas fait hello excuse me I'm back.
Voice of the People, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Choice TV.
Massey Stores Waterfront is now temporarily closed for renovations for approximately 3 months. You are welcome to continue shopping with us at Massey Stores City Store or Leclerc, where you can enjoy double points on Wednesdays and Fridays, weekly sampling, and ring-a-ding Fridays during the renovations. Thank you for your understanding and continued support of Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
It's all about you and the dreams you believed, how you made your way ahead, all the goals you have achieved.
All along the way, you've been a partner so true. All the way you've seen me through.
We're all the bank you need. It's still about you and the life you're shaping now. All the doors that open wide, every step, every vow.
All along the way, you'll be a partner so true. All the way you've seen me through.
We're all the bank you need. We're the Bank of St. Lucia, so bank on your future. We're the Bank of St. Lucia, all the bank you need.
Celebrating 25 years strong. Bank of St. Lucia, all the bank you need.
Welcome back. Before we end tonight's broadcast, there's our upbeat update. A remarkable act of kindness has helped launch the career of a young piano prodigy in Colorado in the United States. Jude Kofi, an autistic boy and the son of a Ghanaian immigrant, discovered his extraordinary musical talent at the age of 9 after finding an old electric keyboard in his family's basement. His gift quickly gained local attention, catching the eye of piano tuner Bill Magnuson, who attended one of Jude's performances and was amazed by his ability. Moved by both Jude's talent and the sacrifices of his father, Isaiah, who supports a family of 4 while sending money to relatives in Ghana, Magnuson made an extraordinary gesture. Using part of his inheritance, he purchased a brand new grand piano worth $15,000 for the young musician. He also committed to providing free lifetime tuning services and arranged professional piano lessons. Today, Jude has grown from a gifted child into a 14-year-old touring pianist with his own album, Introducing Jude Kofi. His remarkable journey stands as a testament to the life-changing impact one person's generosity can have on another's future. And with that, we come to the end of our primetime newscast. On behalf of the entire Choice TV family, thank you for staying with us. Stay tuned for more quality programming on Choice TV.